You guys got to understand. During David's time in Israel, they had scribes, uh, and people wrote things down about the king. I guess they got it from the Egyptians or something. But when people write down stories, just try to correct the stories because they've been turned to myth and try to turn them back into based on reality. There was a man named Muhammad of Mecca who lived the Quran and didn't want anybody to write it down because he didn't want people looking at a book and a narrative that could be changed and manipulated by people that are abusive and manipulative, and try to limit faith in God to a finite perception of the ego trying to replace the soul. Okay, so guys, the Francis Ford Coppola's and stuff of the world, and the Ridley Scotts and stuff, they're not the people that the stories in literature that give us religions are based on. Okay, Muhammad and Jesus, there was prophecy telling about their lives because they were important people, because they helped the world be a better place by giving us immaculate faith in an infinite essence, and help us have a better eternal life through holy covenants, which is sexual reproduction through love. And so you guys got to understand this. Now I'm going to call it quits for the night, and we'll see how things go. It's till now we're basically just surviving. Okay, I don't buy any of the Francis Ford Coppola movies, any of the bullshit that the Z-Guys people would do to try to manipulate my life into a narrative of their creation and their design. And I advise most of you to ignore that too. Muhammad said, live the Gospels. Don't write them down and use them as something to enforce on other people. Jesus lived the Gospels. Other people wrote down the New Testament. Jesus is the New Testament. Other people wrote down the Quran. Muhammad is the Quran. Okay? Do you understand? Okay. When people look to stories that are left to help save us from abusive people, okay, people don't pray to Elon Musk or Mark Zuckerberg or Jeff Bezos or George Soros or the Koch brothers to save us from genocide through philanthropy, but they pray to Jesus, okay? And then it says in the stories that they didn't manipulate it because they were studying it, and they were studying the people in them to see if they're for real. Like my mom used to say, this guy really burps. And I really do. I defecate, urinate, copulate. I do look forward to being healthy. I'm not going to get a Hims box. You get a healthier environment, you exercise more, your circulation's better because you're breathing better, and you're being treated with dignity and respect, and you rest better, and you have affection. And affection helps us sleep better and helps us be healthier. And I've been deprived of affection almost my whole life by scientists and corporations, mostly militarized groups. And they're disgusting. It's pretty... I have health issues and stuff like the Dalai Lama and the Pope that, put on a hypocrite show to look like they're closer to omniscience, omnipotence, because they're pretending to be holy, right? And I don't deserve that, because I told Jesus, out loud in my dorm room at Pope Air Force Base, I don't see anything wrong with sex life and a healthy sex life, and I want to have a healthy sex life the rest of my life. And all the hypocrites listening tried to make sure that that didn't happen, and they were going to fulfill a Francis Ford Coppola novel, or an Oliver Stone movie of The Last Temptation of Christ and all that crazy bullshit that these artists do. And Jesus wasn't an artist. Jesus was the eternal faithful Father. Be like me and Jesus, and tell all those artists, we ain't paying money for you to take your crap and wipe it on canvas and say it's more valuable than time with our children and love with our wives. All right?